My boyfriend Justin, 26 male, and I, 23/F, have been a couple for just over 7 months but started dating a couple months before that. So in all I've known him less than a year and I'm already head over heels for him and feel like I've known him forever. I know it's still our honeymoon phase, but I've genuinely never felt this strongly about another guy before, and have definitely never thought as long term as I'm thinking with him. Justin is confident, charismatic, passionate and driven, intelligent and emotionally mature, values his family, is especially kind to children and elderly people, and just has a presence that lights up the room. It also doesn't hurt that he's 6 feet 1 inch, handsome, has a yummy body, and is an amazing lover. Anyway, lol, the only real problem in our relationship, from my point of view, is his friendship with Olivia, 24/F, who has known since her first year of university, 6 years. BF is smart with women, used to attention, and doesn't cross boundaries with them. The only time he comes close is with Olivia, and even then, it's mostly her initiating things, but the way she behaves around him is honestly the #1 source of conflict in our relationship. I am quite friendly with Justin's circle of friends now and I hang out with them at least once per week, so things can be pretty uncomfortable for me. Things that make me uncomfortable. She is exactly my BF's type, not really her fault I know. I have seen a few girls that my BF has been with from his social media, and they all look more or less like Olivia. She's 170 centimeters, 5'8", athletically built, has cat eyes and a pout-y mouth, and just gives off a sexy aura. I'm 162 centimeters, 5'3", in shape, and have a decent face but 1, it bothers me that I'm nothing close to Justin's type and 2, that Olivia is his type. Olivia has always been nice enough to me, but when I first met her she gave me an eyebrows raised, let's see how long you last kind of look. I admit that I could be overthinking this one. She's always finding excuses to touch Justin. An example is brushing food off of his clothes/face, hello, that's my job, or fixing his shirt collar. She also likes to give him back hugs. Once, she hugged him from behind and I overheard her saying, "How come you never give me back hugs anymore?" The way she said it was low and whispery and rubbed me the wrong way. I'm 99% sure an objective passerby could have interpreted her tone as seductive. When I brought it up to Justin, all he said was, "Yeah, that was weird I guess." She has this cute act that she does for Justin when he doesn't want to do something for her. Sometimes, this is probably weird in itself, she'll ask him to buy her something, like an ice cream, and when he says no, she'll stand in front of him and pout and make deer eyes. Or sometimes she just grabs him and pushes him towards whatever she wants, points to it, and does the cutesy act. She greets him by saying, "Hey, you," and winking and pretend shooting him. Justin only listens to Olivia. He's a pretty stubborn guy and doesn't really follow others, unless it's Olivia. One of the things that bothers me the most in this regard is an incident that happened in a club. Justin and I were drinking with his friends, when another group of people got in an argument with some of Justin's guy friends. Justin tried to defuse the situation at first, but the other guys were extremely disrespectful and he was on the verge of fighting 3 guys at once. I kept telling him to leave them alone, but he just wouldn't back down, even after the bartender threatened to call the police. Then Olivia walks over to him, pulls him by the arm and yells at him, "Stop. You're acting stupid." She dragged him to the bar and they were talking there alone for 15 minutes. I know I probably should have went and checked on him, but I was pretty shocked/angry considering what just happened. One of Justin's friends noticed me watching and told me, "Don't feel bad. It's always been this way with them," which obviously made me feel worse. Yesterday we went to dinner with his friends. The day was pretty warm, so Justin was only wearing a t-shirt, but by the time we finished it was windy and quite a bit colder. We decided to take a walk along the riverwalk, and Olivia suddenly wrapped her cardigan around my BF's shoulders. He started joking around and posing like a model before giving it back, but I kind of wish he would have just given it back to her right away. There are a lot of these kinds of instances where Olivia will do small, caring things for him, things that a GF does. My woman's intuition just tells me that Olivia wants more from Justin than he's giving her. She's sarcastic and rude to him half the time because that's their dynamic/her personality. However, when he's not paying attention to her, I sometimes catch her stealing glances at him. Sometimes she looks smitten, sometimes she looks straight up lustful, and sometimes she looks sad. I think it's obvious she has feelings for him, but when I brought it up with my BF he told me they were just close. There is much more to add, but I'm just going to end with this. I understand that some people are natural flirts, but Olivia doesn't act like this to any other guys in their group. Her personality is pretty strong. She's sarcastic and relentlessly teases them, but no touching, no cutesy act, none of the small, thoughtful stuff, and definitely none of the misty-eyed gazes. Some of the guys even jokingly complain that they're jealous that she only acts like a girl to Justin. Yesterday, after the cardigan thing, when Justin dropped me off I asked him to talk because I've been growing more insecure about his friendship with Olivia. We talked in my apartment for around 1 hour about it and didn't really make any progress. Basically, he agreed not to meet Olivia alone, but said that she was important to him, told me some things they helped each other get through in university, and that he wanted her in his life. I tried to initiate sex with him after that, but he said he was tired and left. I cried after that and called my older sister and talked about the situation. She told me that since Justin hasn't done anything to break my trust, that I should continue trusting him and that there's a reason he's with me and not Olivia. She also said that if he crosses the line, I need to be strong enough to leave him. I also called my best friend this morning. She, on the other hand, is convinced that Justin and Olivia were or are more than just close. She thinks I need to give him an ultimatum, choose the friendship or the relationship. Basically, I'm at a loss for what to do now. I love Justin and really think we have a future together, but this friendship with Olivia is driving me crazy. Is this just jealousy / my insecurities, or do I really need to give my BF an ultimatum? I really like him, but I don't know if I'll ever be comfortable in this relationship as long as Olivia is a part of his life. Edit. Thank you all for your replies. I tried to respond to as many as possible. In reading your comments, my own post and some self-reflecting, I realized that a lot of the issue has to do with my insecurities / fears about what could be happening or what may happen in the future. I don't know why it's been so hard for me to stop rationalizing these fears and accept that they aren't indicative of what actually is happening. That being said, though I realize that a lot of the points of discomfort I've felt are purely a result of my gut feelings, there are still several things that Olivia does with my BF that are personally not okay with me. I understand that it was wrong of me to even entertain the thought of asking Justin to distance himself from her. But at the same time, if they really are that close and nothing farther than platonic feelings are being shared, I think that my BF shouldn't have a problem establishing within reason boundaries with a female friend whose behavior makes his GF uncomfortable, and that female friend should understand and respect those wishes. I understand that some of the things that bother me, like her cute act or some of her other affectionate gestures, might just be part of her personality towards him and that I'll probably just have to suck it up and deal with it. But for me, it's within reason for him to ask that she cut out the intimate physical stuff like the back hugs, grabbing his arm incessantly, brushing his hair / face, clothes, etc. Justin and I haven't talked much today, but I'm meeting him later tonight and I will tell him exactly what I've written above. I'm not going to ask him to stop being friends with her, and I'm not going to ask her to distance himself from her. I'm also going to ask him to clarify some things for me, like the extent of their physical relationship / if there's any romantic history between them that I'm not aware of. Some people might have a problem with this, but I think that given the nature of their relationship / the fact that they see each other so often, he should be transparent about it. I think this conversation will help me decide whether a compromise can be made and I can learn to deal with their friendship healthily, or if I will have to do the hard thing and walk away, which I really don't want to do. Update 1. I met Justin the night after I added the edit to the original post, with the intentions of telling him that I was wrong for wanting him to distance himself from Olivia, but that I wanted 1, for him to ask that she tone down the physical intimacy, and 2, that he disclose the extent of their relationship in the past, i.e., how far their physical relationship has gone, if either of them has confessed romantic feelings, which was something I previously wondered about but always avoided asking him. That talk didn't go as planned at all. I thought he was going to be understanding of me and honest about his feelings, but he stonewalled me and was super rude and an all-around asshole to me. As soon as I brought up Olivia, he laughed and shook his head and asked me if I was really gonna do this shit again. I tried my best not to get emotional and just explain my point of view. The whole time he was leaning his head against the wall, didn't make eye contact, and was playing with his earrings. So when I asked if he understood my feelings and was okay with what I was asking of him, he smiled sarcastically and said, "Of course, honey," with a fake tone. He was extremely angry when I asked if they have hooked up before. His exact words were, "You haven't even been my GF for a year. If you think you're entitled to know every little detail from my past, fuck yourself." He walked out after saying that, and I cried. He'd never talked to me like that or expressed anger towards me before. I was shocked, hurt and angry. Obviously he was hiding something. I didn't know if something had happened between them or he had feelings for her or what, but I wanted to talk with him again, so I messaged him telling him I wasn't trying to make him mad, but that I felt like we needed to talk again. He didn't reply to my messages that night, and the next morning he still hadn't replied. I never thought I would do this, but I sent Olivia a message asking to meet for a coffee. Surprisingly, she answered almost immediately and agreed to meet in the afternoon. When we met, I told her about my feelings about their relationship, how Justin had reacted the other night, and straight up asked her if there was any romantic feelings between them. She admitted that she has feelings for Justin, but that it was complicated. She said she loves him and hates him at the same time. She told me that I should leave him, that she wasn't just saying that because she wants to be with him instead of me, but that it was because Justin has always been a player, has been charming and leaving girls for years, that she's waited for him to change, that she knew she could never be truly happy staying by his side as a friend, that she should leave him too but couldn't. I thought she might try to BS me, but she seemed very sincere when saying these things. I asked her what the extent of their relationship was like in the past, and she told me that basically, she was attracted to Justin at first sight when they first met in university, but that Justin had a long-distance GF at the time. Justin broke up with his LDGF, they got closer, Justin had some problems, she wouldn't tell me what they were, that he counseled to her about. This led to them kissing one night and having sex. That was her first time. She confessed feelings to Justin, but he said he didn't want their friendship to be affected if the relationship didn't work out. They were on and off FWBs throughout college. Justin had a handful of short-lived relationships during that time and he cheated on one of his GFs with Olivia. She claimed at this point that they haven't had sex since he's been in a relationship with me. I'd quit to believe. When they graduated, their friend group rented a vacation pension on an island. One night their friend Ashley walks in on them in the bathroom. Justin told Ashley that it was a drunk mistake. Olivia was extremely hurt and refused to see or speak to Justin for weeks. After being ignored, Justin apologizes to her, tells her he has feelings for her, and they go on a few secret dates, but Justin never commits to a relationship and then backtracks and says he's confused about his feelings, not ready for anything serious. From that point on, they went back to being FWBs until Justin met me. I'm a little confused and skeptical as to why she's told me all this, so I ask if she has any proof. She searches chat logs and shows me multiple messages of him booty calling her. She starts getting emotional and tells me that Justin has amazing qualities but that he has some deep personal issues that he refuses to work on that prevent him from being a good partner right now. I asked her what she meant, but she wouldn't tell me. I could tell that she cares about him a lot. She's been single this whole time. There were likely many opportunities for her to end up in a happy relationship, but she turned a blind eye to them all for Justin, who can't even admit that he has feelings for her. Even though I didn't like some of the things she did before, I actually sympathize with her a lot. It sounds like Justin put her through a ton of shit, given her false hope and taken it away, and she's always stayed by him for whatever reason. After, she tells me not to worry about throwing her under the bus because she was going to tell Justin herself that she told me about them. She said she wanted him to be mad at her. Later that night Justin called me trying to explain himself to me, but I broke up with him. I was crying on the phone. I really didn't want to break up, but I knew it was the right thing for me to do. Regardless of what was true or false about his past, it was just too much drama for me to handle, and the way he reacted to me when I had originally wanted to talk to him scared me. He didn't try to fight me or ask me to say, we just kind of sat in silence on the phone for a while before hung up. It's been about 2 weeks since then. I know that Justin was probably a bad boy and it was only a matter of time before he broke my heart, but I feel devastated. I'm just starting to be able to get back into my normal routines, but even then sometimes it's just so hard to get out of bed. I think about Justin every day. It's like the more I'm away from him, the more I think about the good things we had together. I miss his smell, his laugh, his touch, just being able to be with him whenever I want. Part of me hoped He would reach out to me, but he hasn't. I met Olivia last week and she told me that Justin wasn't talking to her anymore, and that it was probably a good time for her to move on from him. My ass. Last night I saw Olivia uploaded a couple Y picture of her and Justin on Instagram. They were in a nightclub or some dark place. He had his arm wrapped around her with a drink in that hand and she was sipping from the straw. I know it was a mistake not to block/unfollow Justin and his friends. After I saw that, I blocked and unfollowed them all. That was kind of what inspired me to post an update. I don't know if Olivia played me or if Justin is working his magic on her again, but I just feel shitty all around. It hurts, no, but I know these people would have been toxic for me if I had stayed with him. It just hurts so much more than I'd imagined. Now on to second story. Sister told my 5-year-old daughters they were rape babies after my mom invited her without my permission, so I cut them off. I 25F have twin girls 6F. I love them more than anything and I am grateful for them, don't get me wrong, but I do wish I had gotten pregnant very differently. Long story short, I was SID by a relative 44M when I was 19. It was a terrible experience and I tried to forget about it, but obviously I kept the babies. Unfortunately, I didn't really get a choice to have them in the first place, as when I found out I was in my second trimester, not that I would have gotten rid of them because they are my everything anyways. Onto the issue, my parents usually babysit the girls after school while I'm at work, usually for about an hour or so. I also haven't been in contact with my sister since I was pregnant, as she told me I clearly wanted it. She's obviously not a good person, so I keep her out of mine and my daughter's lives as much as I can. The girls are doing a fun family tree project at the moment and I told them that their dad did something very bad and was taken away a long time ago. I never went into detail. I didn't want to go into detail or keep them in the dark. They both were happy with my response and didn't even push me on it. I obviously was going to tell them when they were adults so they could really understand what happened and why he is in jail and not in their lives. As I mentioned, I don't talk to my sister, so my mom had the bright idea that while she was babysitting to invite my sister to see the girls since she hasn't seen them ever while my dad went out. My sister then told the girls they looked just like their dad and the girls told her no, we look like mom, and my sister told the girls no, you look like your dad. They girls then asked, how do you know our dad, have you seen him? And my sister told them, yeah, of course I've seen them, but you should know that you were raped when I came to pick up my daughters. They were calling each other our babies. I asked my mom where they had gotten that name because I was livid and she told me she had no idea. So in front of my mom I asked the girls where did they learn that from? And they told me Annie's sister name told us that's what we are. I just stared at my mom in disbelief and grabbed the girls and went home. When we got home, I told them that that was a very bad word and that they should never say that ever. It was a very uncomfortable situation for me. They asked me a lot of questions about where it come from and what it means, and I answered this child-friendly as I could and put them to bed. Once they were asleep, I messaged my mom saying that I will never trust her again and that she should have embraced today because his is the last time she'll ever see my children, and that goes to the rest of the family. My mom started messaging me full of excuses and everything, and I decided to just take the easy way. Block them and carry on. However, now I'm getting messages from my dad and my sister and mom all telling me that the girls were gonna know one day and my sister was just ripping the band-aid off them. I on the other hand completely disagree and think they are 6 years old and don't need to hear anything vile like that, and my sister didn't explain anything to them, just was completely inappropriate and out of line as they are children. I told some friends and they're telling me that although my sister went the wrong way about it, she didn't do the wrong thing, and with everyone telling me I'm in the wrong, I'm just confused. So Ida? Just some extra information, this happened on Friday last week and I told my friends over the weekend. I'll add a photo of my sister's most recent message on another post. Edit. My children are 5. I know the math doesn't make sense, but I'm not going to spill out every detail about us personally for the internet. They are about to be 6. I hope this makes everyone understand. Update 1. Regarding my dad, I understand that a lot of you are saying I shouldn't cut him off, but he was aware that my mom invited my sister over and he went to the shops when it happened, so he wasn't that innocent. He knew fully well that I wasn't talking to my sister and was on board to invite her over and let her meet my twins. 2. I rounded up my twins' age. They are 5 and are turning 6 soon, and I am 25 at the end of the year, so I hope that clears the ages up. 3. Twins' biological father is my mom's brother. He has been inappropriate with me since I was 12. My family completely just ignored any time I tried to speak up. 4. My sister is 11 years older than me. She absolutely had no relationship with my mom's brother. She didn't even meet him until my court case because he lived in another country, and when he moved to my neighborhood, my sister was well living independently and never came to any family events. I'm going to copy and paste my sister's messages. My sister, you're being so dramatic over the entire thing. I'm allowed to say the truth, and if anything you should be thanking me. Not bashing me to our family. I'll pray for the girls because you as their mother have no sense of responsibility to those girls. Always full of shit. You're clearly trying to project your issues onto me. I don't have time for it. Me, you are the most vile person to date. I cannot fathom how you thought it was okay to tell my daughters that they are our babies. I think you need to go have a mental health evaluation because you need help. And don't you ever mention how I am as a mother when you don't even have kids. I hope you get the help you need. My sister, how dare you throw my fertility in my face. You have no idea what it's like to have genuinely awful happen to you. You're a selfish bitch. Fuck you, you're a slut. I don't need a fucking slut who started to fuck her own uncle talking about my business. I'll pray to God for you, fucking bitch. Me. God knows how disgusting you are and is preventing you from having any child, because God in no way would willingly let you be anywhere near any children. Suck my dick, you uneducated swine. My parents' messages sums up is what I wrote in my last post and how I'm a disgusting daughter and sister for throwing my sister's issues in her face. I told my daughters that we can get a new house and I will paint their room any color of their choosing, and they are quite happy to move. I think it's because they want a bluey themed room, but I'm not sure. I started looking at houses and hopefully we will be accepted soon. Thank you so much for all the support. I genuinely appreciate it. I will update if anything happens. Edit. I blocked my sister after the conversation. I'm also currently in the process of changing my work emails and stuff like that, as that's how they are contacting me. Still another edit. When I found out I was pregnant, I was 24 weeks. That's why I had them. Not much I could do. Also, my sister cannot for the life of her spell, so she used speak to text when she's arguing, and we all know how Siri does not put what you say. Oop, don't worry, I just wanted to reassure that I cut and reworded what I said to the kids for the sake of the post. I thoroughly explained that they are no issue and that they are lovely and I love them more than anything. I really reassured them as hard as I could. Oop, no, she never really went to school. She used to lie and say that she was getting bullied so my dad would let her stay home. She hasn't really done anything ever. Oop, my daughters deserve the best, and even though I had a shitty traumatic childhood, I will do anything I can to make sure my girls have the best childhood they can, including going into debt to get away from these crazy people.